James Comey has a higher loyalty, and that's getting revenge on the bully. Hey, thanks for watching. Today, I'm going to talk about the James Comey book, A Higher Loyalty. I read it about a month ago. I read it when it came out, and it's been a month, but today's Tuesday, and so it's Review Day Tuesday. I thought I would give you my review of the book and basically do a psychological evaluation of what I think of James Comey. First off, the book is about 300 pages, but it reads like it's about 900 pages because it's really, really boring. It's not very well written, and it was hard for me to read. It took a long time. So here's my thoughts on the book, what I learned throughout the book, and what I learned about James Comey. Now, the first thing is that he's a nerd. And he's not even a cool nerd, not a fun nerd, not a quirky nerd, but the kind that can't ask a girl out, would probably never have a drink of alcohol before they became of age, certainly would never be out past curfew. This is what James Comey talks about himself. He really describes himself as just being a pathetic person, but he sees that as being very virtuous, and he thinks that that's awesome. I think it's sad, really. I think it's really sad. And it's funny to hear someone 6'8" get bullied. I mean, how much a wimp are you that if you're so much bigger than other people and you still get bullied? It's just pathetic. One of the stories that he tells is when he was a teenager, they had an armed robber show up at their house with him and his brother were home on a Friday night because, they would never be out partying or hitting on girls or anything like that. He was home, doing homework or something. And the robber came in and told him to get money, and rather than just saying, okay, go ahead, help yourself, please don't shoot us, he ran around like a little helper and found all the things for the robber. Oh, here's the silverware, and oh, here's a $5 bill that was in a birthday card, and here's my sister's piggy bank. Just pathetic. Just a really pathetic story. And he said that he thought about that for years to come, every single day. And I can understand being obsessed with that. And that's what we learned throughout this book, is that he is just a wimp and he really hates bullies and he wants to get back at the bully. That's what I got out of this book. Often when he describes his wife, Patrice, he just seems henpecked, that he falls over backwards to do whatever she says. I don't think that he's ever had an argument with her, ever, or he's ever stood up for himself. He's always just, done what his wife tells him to do. And it's really sad to read this. It's just amazing that he put this in the book. I don't think that he realizes how sad he looks. So one of the stories he tells is, as FBI director, he meets with Trump, and he's telling him about the Steele dossier and the Russian prostitutes and whatnot. And Trump told him, hey, if there's a 1% chance that Melania thinks this is true, it's a really bad thing. And James Comey made such a big deal. What kind of marriage could they have if his wife would have a 1% chance that he was with a bunch of hookers? Like, that's beyond his comprehension. And that's one of the things that you see throughout the book, is that he has no imagination for doing anything naughty, right? He just can't imagine that at all. There's so many things that I don't think would happen, but if someone said, is there a 1% chance it could happen? I'd think, well, maybe, it might happen. But in this guy's world, that never happens, right? He can't imagine anyone ever doing anything wrong, ever. But someone that doesn't have a criminal mind, they shouldn't be the top cop in the U.S. You need to be able to think like a criminal. You need to be able to think, oh, what would a criminal do in this case? And he just can't do that. He has no imagination whatsoever. And in story after story in this book, he just reveals to the world that he's probably terrible at his job. Another example of this is with the Loretta Lynch and President Clinton meeting on the tarmac. He can't imagine that they would do anything other than what they said, which was, talk about golf and their grandkids. he can't imagine that they would ever conspire. And that's why he never made a big deal about that. He takes everyone at their word because he can't imagine people doing wrong or doing bad. It's bizarre. One thing he does do in this book is he goes at great lengths to explain why he reopened the investigation on Hillary Clinton, and he is so pained to do so. And when you look at it, it totally makes sense. I mean, Clinton claimed that they lost 33,000 emails, and then on the Wiener laptop, 650,000 emails showed up. Okay, so they lied by a factor of 20. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. You might need to reopen the case. But that's not even enough justification for James Comey. He just hems and haws and bends over backwards and like, oh, I had to do it. I don't know. All the groveling, he sounds pathetic, and he sounds pathetic in every single chapter. My conclusion, this book sucked. It was not a good read. It was not interesting. I even find it hard to believe that someone that could reach this level of success in the country can be this pathetic a person. You know, he made a big deal. He told a story about using the word turd. Really, a grown man, and that's edgy. He used the word turd. It's unreal. And I'm constantly amazed how goody-goody and naive he is. But my pop psychology, my take on him is that he was bullied his entire life, and he eventually came head-to-head with the quintessential bully in Donald Trump. I mean, there is no one in the history of mankind that couldn't be seen as the archetype bully, the alpha male, the real estate developer, crass talking, being with lots of models and whatnot. He finally was able to get the courage. This wimpy guy, his entire life he's been a wimp, and he was able to get the courage to stand up to the bully, Donald Trump. And that's why I think he made the decisions that he did the last bit of his FBI career. I am not impressed at all with his story. But, you know, that's just my take on it. I could be wrong. Have you read the book? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Peace. You can help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers by clicking the like button and subscribing. Thanks.